All right, so greetings everyone. This is Group 3 and Senegal. Today, our assignment is to talk about some major learning theories, the sociocultural learning theories, then we move on to some observational learning theories, then we take that to situated learning theories and situated cognition. So beginning, we start with okay, we start with the major learning theories, right? So it began from behaviorism back in the 1910, 91, right? Back in 1910 to 1930s. Then it moved on to cognitivism. That's from 1950s to the 1960s. Then it went on to constructivism. That's from 1970s to 1980s. So moving on, we're talking about behaviorism, right? So we have some definitions over here according to some writers, right? So you have J.B. Watson, Ivan Pavlov, B.F. Skinner, right? So they are the key proponents of this theory, which is also known as behaviorism or what directed learning. So Pavlov made a research on dogs' reflexes, established
Bro,
the foundation for the
bro,
theory of classical conditioning.
bro. Open it for teams. Bro, very chasing that one.
While so, while Watson experiments on human subjects led him to conclude that learning is a process of conditioning reflexes, and that of Tondike believed that learning can only occur through trial and error, and that the relationship between cause and effect is strongly linked, right? And that of Skinner
Tony,
proposed that,
Ernest,
you dey hear me?
please increase your voice more, okay?
You know
Maybe
they
the
hear me?
volume of your seat. I dey hear you, but like make you increase am small.
Yeah, I did that one official shout. I did the radio ring, that's one official shout like that.
Ready?
Somebody in background be noisy. Make it just mute. All right, so like I was saying, that of Skinner proposed that learning can be achieved by adopting a behavior that is reinforced, right? Which is the fundamental concept of the operant conditioning, according to Giannokos 2024. So, beginning with divine behaviorism, right? Behaviorism is all about observable behaviors, how they are being acquired and changed through environmental influences. So, here we assess students based on their behavior, right? So, we believe that if students are giving good behaviors, it's linked to giving good results, right? But if it turns out they are giving bad behaviors, definitely they began to give bad results as well. So behaviorism in definition by Junikos 2024 says that it's a psychological theory that focuses on studying observable behaviors and how they are acquired and change through environmental influences like rewards and punishment. So when we reward you based on your good character, you tend to continue going doing that good character, right? But when we punish you of your bad character, you stop it. So we have the application in the inclusive classrooms. So first of all, we talk about feedback. So in a behaviorism class, there should be a feedback, right? When you do something good and reward you, that's a feedback. When we punish you too, that's a feedback. The reinforcement comes in when, let's say, maybe you need extra push to do something, right? So maybe you are doing it, but your behavior towards a particular thing, it's low or let it's bad. But in a behaviorism class, you tend to be reinforced to be able to take that. And also we move on to the cognitism, right? Which deals with how people construct their own knowledge and understanding of the world through cognitive processes like perception,
Nothing.
the attention, the memory, right? So according to Jerome Bruner and Jean Piaget and Ulrich Neisser, right? They are the key proponents of this story. And they propose that people actively construct knowledge and understanding of the world, right? Through cognitive process. And the cognitive process here is your attention, right? So your perception, how you think about a particular thing. Then attention, how you make study to it. And the memory here is how you can recall and understand what's going on, how you can use that particular thing, the knowledge you've gathered to solve a problem, right? So the inclusivity in the classroom talks about the one here is cognitive scaffolding, right? So we're giving it up to students to help them construct their own knowledge, help them to build their memory perception and paying attention in class as well, according to Chimalapati 2026. So moving on to slide 10, right? So Gerard, we continue from constructivism. Let's go.
Constructivism. Ernest.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So
Show your face.
constructivism, as we know, it is a learning theory.
Show your
So it's
face.
based on the fact that learners learn from past experience, right? So let's take, for instance, in a maths classroom. So let's take, for instance, in a maths classroom, they are teaching the children how to,
No, go show your
you
face.
know. Oh, sorry. Please, can you see me?
You can see you, boss.
Ernest, yes. So constructivism. So it's based on the fact that the learners learn based on past experience, right? So it's like a construction of knowledge based on previous knowledge.
Are you
You
sure?
understand? Yes. So the theory of constructivism posits that individuals can acquire knowledge through the process of discovering and solving problems. Yes. So the next slide. So inclusivity in math classrooms, dialogue and dialogic engagement. Yes. So over here we can see that the instructor is teaching a group of students, yes, who are following him directly. So based on the theory, you can you can see that knowledge is obtained based on past experience. Maybe what the learner has learned before, then he builds on that to acquire or to learn new things or
Uh,
more knowledge.
all right, so I have a question. What's the difference between the constructivism and the prior knowledge?
Pardon?
I'm asking the difference between constructivism and prior knowledge.
Prior knowledge, constructivism is a theory. Prior knowledge is knowledge. I mean, so you build on what you already know. Yes. Constructivism is a whole theory. You get it? It's based on the fact that you learn new things based on what you already know. You understand?
I don't understand.
Yes. But you understand, you know prior knowledge. You already have knowledge about something. So that's what it means.
You are here, boss.
You, Gerard.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Gerard. You, I beg take
Pardon?
the constructivism again.
Why you weren't around? Or you
Nah,
couldn't hear
you
me?
see, you made mention of prior knowledge and constructivism. I
Yes.
didn't really hear the difference.
Ernest is the one who asked that question. He said, what is the difference between prior knowledge and constructivism? And I was saying that constructivism is a whole theory. It's a learning theory.
Uh,
You get it? Yes. And prior knowledge is knowledge. Like you already know something. You have you already know something. You already have knowledge about something. You get it? Yes.
eh,
So that's the difference. So the constructivism is based on the fact that you acquire knowledge based on uh, things that you already know, right? Are you listening? So for instance, let's take maybe
We don't have time.
polynomials,
We don't have
right?
time. Thank you. Continue. Let's go.
I want to expatiate so that we understand what we're
But
talking
there's no
about.
time, so
Okay, so social cultural learning theories. So Vygotsky's social cultural theory of development suggests that individuals' social origins and cultural identities are reflected in their use of psychological tools and semiotic science. Right? So this is also another learning theory, right? Based on the fact that we learn through our cultural environments. You get it?
yes, sir.
Yes, so we gain knowledge through our day-to-day cultural practices. Yes. So the next topic, social development theory. So social development theory discusses that cognitive development occurs primarily through social interaction and cultural mediation. So this is based on the fact that the mind is developed, right? The cognitive development occurs through social interaction and cultural mediation, right? So when we say social interaction, what do we mean by social interaction? Hello, please, can anyone answer that question for me?
Social interaction talks about
Yeah,
socialization, comes from socialization, and so by interaction with others, by communicating with others, you get to learn certain things. So in a way, the social development theory is saying that by communicating with others, you can gather more knowledge onto in addition to yours.
all right. Yes, so in that way we can attest to the fact that it's a learning theory, right? Yes, so
Yeah.
then what about the cultural mediation? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so what about the cultural mediation?
We are trying to shift what you have to explain to us to explain for you, right?
Yeah, so it's a discussion, right? So it also talks about the
Ye-
fact that
Yes,
we learn through um, our culture, right? Our day-to-day cultural heritage, right?
Okay.
Yes, so
Okay, I think the cultural mediation, yeah, cultural mediation is like the mediation is like derived from the term mediator. So mediator bridges two or links two different people or situations. So the cultural mediation is like trying to tell us that the social development theory is like a bridge. People from different cultural backgrounds are able to come together to communicate to do a lot of activities. That's what the culture.
all right, so what is an example? Maybe I think an example can help us understand it better.
You want an example of cultural mediation?
Yeah.
No, that's just the thing. The theory acts as a cultural mediator. That is what you're trying to say. And so, because of the social development theory, people from different ethical backgrounds can come together in a school system. We have people from different backgrounds coming together, different ethnic groups. We are able to communicate together. It is part of the social development. And so the development tells us how the social development, let's take the term development. We are trying to improve upon the social context. And so socially, when I meet someone from a different tribe, other than mine, I shouldn't have this bias, or I shouldn't be ethnocentric, exactly. And so the social development theory is telling us that we can come together from different backgrounds and still communicate, still learn together. That is what it is about.
Yeah.
All right, so Apprenti, you can
Thank
take the next
you very
slide.
much.
You're welcome.
Ernest, you can take the next slide.
Okay, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be talking about social learning theory in mathematics. Okay, so from what you have here, social learning theory explains that learning occurs through observation, imitation, and modeling of others' behaviors, attitudes, and outcomes within a social environment. So yeah, so this one is trying to teach us how social learning theory explains how we are going to learn. Yeah, how we are going to learn. And from the explanation is trying to tell us that learning occurs through observation. Yes, we have people or students who learn through observation. They look at what the teacher is writing on the board, then they will picture everything. That's what the learning through observation is. So they observe what the teacher is doing, they observe what other students is doing in their learning. And imitation. So the imitation also talks about maybe like students doing what someone else does. So let's say if a teacher shows how to solve, let's say, um, 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 an algebra question or a math problem on the board, students follow the step by steps ways where the teacher used. So that's what it's meant by imitation. So the student follows what the teacher is doing on the board or how the teacher is trying to solve the question. That's the imitation. Please, do you get it? Okay, so let's move to the okay, move on, because I've talked about this one. Or move to the next one. Or okay, so let's look at the social learning theories and stages of learning. So we have the first one is attention. Yeah, so in learning process, the first one is attention, and which is very, very important in learning stages. You have to pay attention, very, very good. You have to be very, very good. Or let me put it so you have to be attentive, very attentive in class to follow what the teacher is trying to say. So if let's say a teacher is solving simultaneous equation, you follow how the teacher is doing it, how he's moving. Let's say if we have please, can you guys get me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can
Okay,
hear,
so
we can
let's say
hear.
if a teacher is a teacher give out or a teacher is solving a simultaneous equation which contains, let's say, digits in alphabet. So let's say we have 4a plus 2 equals 0. So how are you going to get to the a, right? So you have to follow the step by step how the teacher is going to move from this step to the other one, because if you don't pay attention to what he's doing, you might be confused. That's the first stage. And retention, that is, you must be able to
All right, so guy,
recall.
we have just some 3 minutes remaining, so let's all the other guys also touch on
Okay,
what you have
okay.
to
So
do.
let me
Yeah,
finish. Okay.
oh, it's okay, don't worry.
Okay, so this coffee hear me.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
clear.
So the next one, which is a situated learning theory. So this one it says situated learning theory holds that effective education requires learning embedded in authentic context of practice rather than in decontextualized and abstract forms. That is by Wang et al. 2025. So this one is talking about the real situations where the knowledge will actually be used. That's what the situated learning theory is talking about. It shouldn't be just abstract and
True.
decontextualized. Okay, so the definition is theory is segregation context, okay, context specific tasks. So this one we are saying if a student is like is given more of practical, it's more okay. If a student engages is more in more practical, the knowledge is retained. That's what this one is talking about. Also, it challenges the traditional educational practice that often presents information in vacuum, disconnected from real life applications. So this one is arguing that students should be exposed to students should logic. It shouldn't be just an open source of information, but you have to have a connection where A is coming from. From A you move to B. That's what this story two is talking about. The next slide.
So I'll be taking the
Yeah,
next
some take that one.
slide. So we have some examples in classroom when you want to use the situated cognition theory in classroom. How do we use it? So the situated cognition theory is almost like the social development situated learning theory. In a way, we want to teach using real world applications. So example here is like if you want to teach, you use transactions to teach percentages and profits. And so when someone goes to the market, you see most students will often have visited the market before. And so when you're teaching the percentages, try and inculcate that percentages or the topic into that activity they were performing. Apply geometry to building, carpentry, and architecture examples. So geometry. Now, when you lift the roofing at this angle, will it be able to fit under this thing? When you want to place a ladder on the building, it makes an angle this such that you can reach a certain height. And so you see, you are making it practical so that they can be able to remember easily. Then model statistics using real community data. So like rainfall population exam. Now let's pick rainfall alone. If you want to see the relationship between number of water bodies around with respect to how long it will take to rain, you can use um, correlation in senior high to teach or to tell them that if there is a relationship between rainfall and how much water bodies are around, that means that you can be able to determine the likelihood of the event. And so this sums up the social cognition theory.